Well, today is a beautiful day, but also a very sad day because it's the day we say goodbye to our friends, the Dahlias. They have been dying back, and cold nights have gotten hit with some frost. I cut back on watering them because they're at the end of their season, and so it's time now to cut them right back down to the ground, right down to their pots. And what I'm going to do is, actually, I wouldn't be surprised if they're ready to break apart right now. Um, I had one that I already pulled out of the pot and saved the rhizomes. And actually, instead of doing that with that one, I'm just going to show you that now. So I have one that I bought in a pot this year, and it sat in the back by the roses, and it was a little single flower, single petal bloom, and it had pink on the outside, red on the inside of the petal, and then the centers were yellow, and they were really bright and cute. They started to fall down, though, the last month or so, and they were becoming you know, getting to the end of their season. So this afternoon I came out and I pulled it out of the pot, and you can see here where I cut the stems, and then down here are the tubers or rhizomes. I think they're called tubers. And so I have three sections, and I'm going to save them in here. This is the tag. Now they're sold as annuals, and sometimes they come with their roots wrapped, and you can't salvage them. But I found out these were all whole in the pots, so this stores the energy for next year. And then when springtime comes, these sprouts will be all dead, but there'll be new shoots coming up, kind of like how a potato will send up shoots when they start to die out. So you just store them in the basement. I like to try and keep them in a box with some peat moss, a little bit of moisture, add a little bit of water, maybe once or twice, once a month or something like that. And so I actually started my dahlias with three individual. I had a pink one, a red one, and then a red and white one that was variegated. And that was back in 2020. The pink one ended up surviving all these years. The red one I never got another bloom off of, though. But I mean, I didn't figure it out so that until it was too late, kind of thing. So the pink ones have been the most resilient, and this year I ended up with 5 pots of them. But yeah, I've got 2 more pots over there that were the first to die back. And now these guys here. It's funny because, oh, this one still has a nice bloom on it. I don't know. I guess I could leave it, but there's so much dead on here. I really want to just cut them back. And the pots are dry, so they're ready to go in. And we need to make hay while the sun shines. So right now it's like 28 degrees or 22 degrees. I guess not 20. It's about 20 degrees. And so anyhow, it's the perfect time to get out in the garden, do a little work, get things ready for fall, for winter. And let me take you over here where I have been working most of the day, or not the day, but at least the afternoon. So I had some green onions that I cut back. The flowers had dried out and there were little seeds, so I collected the seeds. I have a lavender that I planted this summer, so I cut that back. It doesn't look like much now, but Then there's this lavender here that I also cut back. And I got a clematis. Hello, my mother. I got a clematis for my birthday that I put into the ground. So I cut that back a little bit because they say for winter it needs to be 12 to 18 inches on the vine. I propped these roses back with these bamboos sticks in the trellis so that they weren't sticking to me as I was digging and planting and cleaning up. And so it's kind of cool though. Maybe I'll do this when in the spring when they, look, I still have buds coming on here. So I have cut back some of the dead branches that were on the sides here. Like right there. I could even cut that down deeper. See where it's hollow in the center? That means it's dead. Yeah, so there's still more buds coming. So I'm going to leave it. It will probably still open those flowers even though we might drop down to a frost. Sometimes they even bloom in the snow. Yeah. My peace roses. Let's take a sniff. Oh! I can't smell. I can't get close enough. Here we go. We'll take this railing out. Let them come back. Don't really want them to be pressed against each other and all I smell is the dirt on my fingers. They have a light sweet smell. They're a tea rose. But anyway, they're pretty this time of year because when it's colder they bloom a darker shade. And actually that's what I was going to say about that dahlia back there. That one so all summer long they're deeper color of pink. Well, that's a dried one. But they're brighter like this. But in the cool, they're lighter. So that's neat. They're opposite to the roses. And I also cut back the sage. It looks kind of scraggly right now. I may even end up cutting this back a little bit more, but I should have pruned it earlier in the summer. But it was slow coming back, so I didn't really want to. This rose is still blooming, although it looks kind of wacky. It's lost a lot of leaves from the rosebud slugs, sawfly larvae. And this rose here, it only blooms once. It had new growth coming, but I ended up just leaving a few leaflets on, and I cut back the rest just because, oh, there's a piece I could have cut. Right there, that's where the sawfly lays its eggs. And then they come out and then they eat the leaves. I'm almost tempted to rip that thing right out of the ground because I have a feeling that that particular rose attracts that bug because it always gets it the worst. And the other plants, some of them, like this one here, it might get attacked by them once in the season, but the majority of the summer, it's fine. It takes a while for its leaves to grow back, but it's got new buds coming, like right here. And here. So all those little buds, those are new leaves that are getting ready to grow. They'll actually grow stems, new stems. So here's a new growth right here. And, oh, another bud here. And if I let these roses fall off, then it will send up new buds, 3 new leaves. See right there? try and get this in focus. Right in the base of the leaf. That will turn into another stem, and it will fill out the whole entire, it'll, like right here. That's where the rose fell off, and this is where the leaves were, and now it has new stems that have grown new leaves. And if it were to stay nice long enough, they would grow a whole whack of new flowers, new roses. Smells like apples sometimes, but not right now. This time of year, everything's kind of slowing back. But look at it, I even have little pink roses over here too. These guys also get destroyed by the rosebud slugs. But anyway, so I'm collecting seeds and cutting back, planting, and I even baled up some of I'm gonna bale these guys together and hang them up in the shed just for a little bit. Here's my lavender that I cut off of the big one. Or actually, no, that's from both. So it smells gorgeous. I know if I bring it in the house, though, the whole house will smell, and I'm not ready for that right yet. It smells lovely, but so I'll leave it in the shed for now. But look at all these guys. Geraniums can overwinter in the house, but I don't know if I'm going to bother with that. I collected seeds off of my Gerbers. And another Gerber pot over here. And, oh, look at me. I've got a leaf on. I got a leaf on. Do-do-do-do-do-do. That's hilarious. It must have come off of my dahlias. Oh my gosh. Hilarious. You guys have known that, but I just found out. Oh, and I also took some Hannah lily seeds. These here are yet to mature up. But what happens is these dry up. They turn like a dark brown all around, and then you cut them open. Ooh, I don't want to do that. And there's like seeds, 1, 2, 3, 4, I think, in each one of those bulbs. And I can also save the tuber that's in the pot as well. And this one's a red one, and this one's an orange one. So this is my first year with those guys, and I'm going to save them. And the calla lilies, oh, these have done really good this year. I am so impressed. I can save, once these leaves die back, then I'll take their tubers out. I've got some marigolds. I've been tossing their seeds just like down and into the ground, like we'll see if they grow, come back next year on their own. And look at over here, these nasturtiums are so hardy. They actually prefer the cooler temps, and I'll be able to take some seeds off of these guys. I'm almost done for the day. The sun is getting closer to the horizon, but so this is a seed pod here. Now it's not mature yet. Let me see if I can find one. Here we go. Oh, well, it's starting to mature. These will actually reseed themselves and grow right here. This smells so beautiful. It's an orange mint. And I saved it from last year in that same pot. Brought it out. I don't know if I'm going to keep them inside. This is orange and this is apple. Mint will take over your garden if you plant it. So I just keep them in pots, and they survive the winter either in my house or outside. I corral them with my strawberries, put them under straw, These sad strawberries here, they're looking pretty droopy. I bet you they're hard as stone. I feel kind of bad. They have survived in these pots for years now. I don't know if there's any hope. Oh, maybe if I add some water. I'm gonna water them. I don't mind them dying back though, because they're all gonna send up new leaves in the spring. But I stash everybody together, all crowded together, throw some straw on top, and they sit here on the south side of this fence, and they survive over the winter, as well as a few other things. Like I said, the mint has survived. I have some ornamental grass that I got out of a planter, similar to like this. If I were to separate this grass, I would be able to, and leave it in a pot. Actually, I could take this whole pot, just cut back and stash it in the straw. Got cut off there. So if I were to, in the spring, these will start off like you cut them back, and in the spring they start growing up like fresh new green grass. Yeah, that geranium could survive too. Everything is so dry. Hello, Reno. Are you dry? Yes, you are dry. So I can save these green beans for seed. I let them, this is basically letting them go to seed. I mean, I could eat that. Let's have a bite. So nice and green bean. But when they get a little bit bigger, like this guy, you can see the shape of the beans growing. Pop them open. Let them dry all the way. Pop them open in the spring, put them in some soil, and boom, you got new plants. Yay! Look at this. I still have tomatoes flowering, even though I came and harvested them the other night in the dark, because we were supposed to have -1 grapes. And I believe, yeah, right here, there's still some on there that's green. There's also some over right there. Oh, some turning red too, right in there. So even though these plants are dying back, the soil is dry, I can also, oh, look at that. I'm gonna have me a salad. Oh, it tastes so good. My blueberry bush is starting to get its fall colors. I love how it changes color. And this one that grew back from the old stem is still hanging in there. I look forward to next year and see if it actually grows some fruit. Look at that raspberry. I don't know if I'm supposed to cut it back. Like, see how long these vines are? They're like probably like 12 feet long. If I were to stand it up, it'd be taller than me. For sure. Oh, and look at the beautiful maple tree out front. Changing color, losing its leaves. Some of them are in the backyard, but the majority of them go in the alleyway and on the front yard. Oh, I also have some cilantro seeds I want to gather. So cilantro doesn't it goes to seed very in the heat, very early. It's a cool weather crop, but that's okay. Let it go to seed, then save those seeds. You can actually really plant them again in the middle of the summer and still get new plants, which will then go to seed. But um, those were actually started. I found them in a pot or on the ground growing self-seeded from last year. So I didn't actually buy any cilantro this year. I just went, hey, wait a minute, that looks like a cilantro. So yeah, here's the green onions. This is where it all started. So those seed pods, it turns into like a white flower, and then the white flower turns into like these green pods, and then they dry out as they get older, and the seeds come. And you know what? Actually, I want to just try one of the seeds. They smell so oniony. It's taking a while to get a flavor. No flavor. It just tastes like, oh, maybe you got to spit them out in order to taste the flavor. This part tastes green, oniony though. I've been smelling. Oh no, I've been smelling onion all day because I've been over there in the rose garden. Roses actually are onions are a companion for roses. They help to keep away pests. Although I still get pests, but I probably get more if I didn't have onions. Anyway, so I guess that is it for today. Um, like I said, it's sad, but it's also beautiful as well because sowing the seeds, saving the seeds to sow for next year, and getting the getting things taken out of the pot that will overwinter, and saying goodbye to some guys that, well, I don't know. I think I have seeds from everybody. I mean, I could, if I really wanted to, start those, but I'm just going to buy them again next year because I love them. And it's only $5 a plant. So, anyway. All right. Well, hope you have a great fall cleanup on your own backyard. And thanks for watching Backyard Care.